Control of information has always been a battleground. From the invention of the printing press in the 15th century to the rise of social media in the 21st, those who control the flow of information shape societies, influence politics, and define truth. Today, platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok wield unprecedented power over what we see, hear, and believe. But this isn't the first time humanity has faced a revolution in how information is shared or controlled. The printing press revolutionized the world, and social media is doing the same today. Are we seeing history repeat itself in the digital age? Let's dive into the parallels between the censorship battles of Gutenberg's time and today's debates over social media. In 1440, Johannes Gutenberg invented the printing press, a revolutionary technology that allowed for the mass production of written works. Before this, books were painstakingly copied by hand, making them expensive and accessible only to the elite. With the printing press, knowledge spread rapidly. Between 1450 and 1500, Europe saw the production of over 20 million books, a number that would have been unthinkable just decades earlier. This democratization of information was a catalyst for monumental changes. The Renaissance flourished as ideas from ancient texts were rediscovered and shared. Martin Luther's 95 Theses, distributed widely thanks to the printing press, sparked the Protestant Reformation, challenging the Catholic Church's monopoly on religious interpretation. The printing press also laid the groundwork for the scientific revolution, enabling scientists to share discoveries and build on one another's work. But this explosion of information came at a cost. The powerful saw the printing press as a double-edged sword. It empowered people to challenge authority but also posed a threat to established institutions. To counter this, governments and religious organizations imposed strict censorship. The Catholic Church's Index Librorum Prohibitorum, established in 1559, listed thousands of banned books, including works by Galileo and Copernicus. Violators risked imprisonment, excommunication, or worse. Even secular authorities got involved. In 1534, King Henry VIII of England passed the Licensing Act, which required printers to obtain approval from the Crown before publishing. This law wasn't abolished until 1695, showing how deeply rooted censorship became as a means of controlling the printing press's power. The printing press didn't just change how information was shared, it transformed who controlled it, igniting a centuries-long battle over truth and power. Fast forward to the 21st century and social media has become the new printing press. Platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok have democratized information on an unprecedented scale. By 2023, over 4.9 billion people, more than 60% of the global population, were active on social media. This connectivity has amplified voices that were once marginalized, mobilized protests like the Arab Spring, and provided a platform for global movements like #MeToo and Black Lives Matter. But this democratization of information has also led to intense battles over control. Governments pressure platforms to remove content they deem harmful, while social media companies use algorithms to moderate content, often with controversial results. For example, Facebook removed over 1.5 billion pieces of content in the first quarter of 2022 alone for violating its community standards, sparking debates about what constitutes free speech versus harmful misinformation. The case of Donald Trump's ban from major platforms exemplifies these tensions. Supporters argued it was necessary to prevent further violence after the Capitol riots, while critics called it a dangerous precedent for corporate overreach. Similarly, countries like India have clashed with Twitter over demands to censor posts critical of government policies, raising questions about the balance between national sovereignty and global free expression. And then there's the geopolitical dimension. TikTok, owned by China-based ByteDance, has faced scrutiny over its data practices, with countries like the US and Australia considering bans. Critics argue that the platform could be used for state propaganda or data espionage, highlighting how control of social media is now a battleground for global power. It's worth noting that the algorithms themselves, the invisible gatekeepers of our feeds, shape what we see and don't see. Studies have shown that emotionally charged content, particularly anger and outrage, is more likely to go viral, fueling polarization and misinformation. The parallels between the printing press era and today's social media landscape are striking. 1. Democratization versus control. Both revolutions broke the elite's monopoly on information, empowering individuals to challenge authority. But in both cases, those in power sought to regain control through censorship and suppression. 2. Gatekeepers of truth. In Gutenberg's time, the church and state acted as gatekeepers of information. Today that role has shifted to tech giants like Meta and Google, whose algorithms decide what billions of people see every day. 3. Misinformation and propaganda. The printing press enabled the rapid spread of both revolutionary ideas and dangerous propaganda. Similarly, social media has been a breeding ground for fake news, from election conspiracies to anti-vaccine misinformation. A 2020 MIT study found that false news spread 6 times faster than the truth on Twitter. 4. Global power struggles. In the printing press era, conflicts over information control played out between rival nations and religious factions. Today, social media reflects these dynamics, with platforms caught between governments vying for influence in the digital sphere. So, what can history teach us about the battle for truth? First, information revolutions are always messy. The printing press and social media both unleashed unprecedented opportunities for progress but also challenges that took decades, or centuries, to address. Second, unchecked power is dangerous. Whether it's a government banning books or a corporation controlling algorithms, the centralization of information control threatens free expression. Finally, society must learn to adapt. The printing press forced humanity to rethink how we disseminate and regulate information. Social media is forcing us to do the same. Finding a balance between protecting free speech and combating harm will define the next phase of this digital revolution. From the printing press to social media, the battle over who controls the truth has shaped human history. Today, as we grapple with the challenges of the digital age, the lessons of the past offer invaluable insights. If you found this analysis insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more videos that connect the past to the present. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.